Mr. Jax Taylor, where does one begin? Listen, we cover it all with Jax. We sat down with Jax. I find this conversation and all the parts there too so interesting. We sat down with Jax basically before the Valley was announced. He was talking about a show he was pitching. I was like, yeah, right, Jax. We all pitch a show, right? It was the Valley. Who knew? So before Scandival, before the Valley, before his separation from Brittany, we sat down with Jax. Now, I'm going over these videos. I'm going over this chat, and I find it so interesting. These have never before been seen. Well, we're going to share these with you. I find it so interesting looking back because I also don't think the Valley, no shade, would have been greenlit if it wasn't for Scandival. I've said that before. So this was before all of that. So when Jax was talking about the show he was pitching, I was like, yeah, right. Little did I know, but it's so interesting foreshadowing the Valley. And just of course, I'm reading into so many things that he says now about his marriage to Brittany, now that they're being separated. This wasn't that long ago, but this chat supersedes all of that. So, did we see Easter eggs in there? Did we see some foreshadowing? I don't know, but let's listen. Let's see what we can find out.
I love it. I love being behind the camera instead of front of the camera. I just think I'm better at that, to be honest.
Do you think this whole narrative too that like Katie was all upset at like Sheena, she's blaming Sheena for Tom and Raquel quote unquote hooking up, which I know you said you think was staged. Do you think that's part of the narrative too of like let's create drama? There seems to be a lot of drama surrounding the new season of VPR with all these people all at once, right?
I don't want to get myself in trouble here. I
well,
just
you're
think
just talking to me, so you won't get in trouble.
Yeah, I listen. You know what? I understand what a show has to do. I understand that I don't know this, but I've heard that their ratings aren't the greatest. And if as a producer and your job is on the line and your ratings are low, what are you going to do? I'll leave it right there. What are you going to do when you say, "Hey, listen, it's the bottom of the ninth inning here. Okay, we're a little stagnant. What can we do? What can we do to up the ante here a little bit?" And that's what I think. Could be wrong, but what can we do to make this a little interesting? We got 9 episodes, 10 episodes. We've had this go on. We talked about what can we do to make this? Can we have this person hook up with this person? Can we have this person be mad at this person? I think too, when you get into season 10, season 12, you have to do stuff because you're starting to rotate storylines now. When you get this long into a television show, and it's nobody's fault really, it's just when you get 10 years deep into a show, what else is there to talk about? You're going over the same damn things all the time. It gets a little stagnant. So yeah, you have to bring in new ideas and new things. And that just goes with any TV show, really, not just Vander. It goes with any reality show. You got to keep it interesting to keep the viewer, or guess what? The viewer's going to click. Let's watch something else. Let's watch something else. Because you got to keep it interesting, People aren't there to braid each other's hair. They're not sitting around and like, let's agree with everyone. Let's all agree. Nobody wants to watch that.
I would agree with that. Do you think like this is this is it? This is like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm a gay man, so I don't know anything about sports. But like after last season, we had really bad. Do you think this is the last ditch attempt? Like if this doesn't work.
I wish I can answer that honestly, but I don't follow the show. I hear bits and pieces from other people. I'm the wrong person to ask about that. Like I said, I try to stay away from it because I'm trying to like move to the future. I don't like to go into the past too much. I'll hear tidbits and stuff like that. But, when we hang around our friends, they kind of know. Everyone's kind of respectful. We don't really talk about work or show stuff too much. Maybe after a couple drinks or something, someone will ask a question when we're around. But, I try to stay away from that, just because, like I said, I need to move forward and I can't look back right now. Like I said, I hope the best for them. I want them to keep going. My friends are on that show. Tom Schwartz is a good friend of mine. He's got a bar in the works. He's got family to worry about that he's taking care of. He needs that income. So I want him to keep going. I wish success for him. But if you're asking me if they're beating a dead horse sometimes, I would guess. I just don't know how much more there is where it's not going to seem forced. Who makes the same mistakes 20 times in 10 years? Like after a while, you're like, come on, really again? Like, come on, like you're almost 40 years old. Like, come on, there's got to be some situations. I don't know again, but there has to be some situations where, especially like the old dogs on the show, like Tom and Tom going through the same things that they've done season 4, 5, and 6 because there's nothing else to do. They're like, well, maybe we should let's revisit what we did season 5. Maybe that worked. You know, I'm guessing as a producer, I would be, if I was in their shoes, I would be like, okay, struggling a little bit just because like, okay, we need to be creative. We got to get the ratings up a little bit. We don't want to sound off that we're bringing people in for ratings, but I don't know what to do. I rack my brain about that. Like, what could you do to keep the show interesting? I mean, I know what I would do. I would have probably kept it more organic, but you know, that's me.
Okay, fair enough. What about how did things go with Tom Sandoval? I mean, I know you guys were both at the wedding. I know, like, where are you guys?
Yeah, I have no ill will. I get asked this question with Tom Sandoval a lot. I'm married. I'm a father. I'm a busy dad. With our projects, with being a dad, we don't have any help. I don't have babysitters. I don't have nannies. I'm probably the only one that doesn't have any help. So we're constantly busy. I don't have any ill will with Tom. In fact, I was with him 2 days ago over the Labor Day weekend, and we sat and talked for like 30 minutes. It's just the only thing difference is, I mean, his name is tattooed on my arm, for God's sakes. He was one of my best friends along with the other Tom. They're two of my best buddies, and they still will. It's just like anything else in life, your path goes this way. I got married and had kids, and this is where I want to go. He wants to be in a band, and he's not married and wants to have fun and go to bars. Like I like that. It's cool, but it's not who I am. And that's not just with Tom. I had this conversation too. I lost I lost touch with a lot of other guys that aren't married and aren't kids. I just don't have a lot in common anymore with someone who's not married or doesn't have kids. My time is very, precious now, especially raising a baby, spending time with my wife, trying to keep my mental health okay, trying to start new businesses. I don't have a lot of time, and time is precious. So the time that I do have, I want to spend it with other dads, other kids, and bounce ideas off and make sure I'm raising my kid the right way. That's my concern. And that's where my life has gone. Whereas opposed to back in the day, where are we going tonight? Where club we going to? And nothing against Tom. That's everybody goes their own way, but that's his focus right now. And that's the reason why we've gone separate ways. It's just, he's got a different life and I got a different life. That's all there is to it. There's no like, oh, I hate you. It's just, you grow apart. It sucks. It's nice though that I did get to see him over Labor Day, and I was really, really happy about it. And we touched base and kind of, brought up some old stuff and laughed a little bit. It was nice. We had a great 30-minute conversation, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm glad we got to revisit it a little bit.
Has anyone ever compared you to Snooki from Jersey Shore? It's like the exact same thing. I mean, it's like the Jersey Shore kids. They were known for partying. So was Jax Taylor. And now, like, you have a Snooki who's like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just can't.
I just don't. And it's not even like mentally. I'm like, I have to like even, it was so funny. Yeah, not to break into something else, but my wife and I went on a date last week. First time in a long time. We got really excited, right? We were like, okay, my mother-in-law's in town. She hasn't been here for a long time. She's the only one that we trust to watch our baby. I go, let's do something let's go to a raunchy Hollywood club. Let's get dressed up. Let's get real sexy. Let's go to a dinner. We were amping ourselves up about it. We're like, we're going to go to Warwick, which is just this club in Hollywood that we used to go to when we were kids. And like, let's just do it. Have a night out. Baby's at home. So we made it to dinner and we were home by 10 o'clock. It's nothing. It's just the way it is. It's like we tried and we want it there mentally. We tried to do it. It's just, I'm a parent now, I get tired. And I speak for a lot of other people. I'm not just saying poor me. I'm the only one tired, but other parents will understand. It's like, gosh, after 10 o'clock, we're looking at our phones, we're looking at our baby and looking at our baby cam. Like, do you want to just go home? We didn't even make it to the club. We got to 10 o'clock. How sad is that? So that's why I'm saying, like, when you said about Snooki, I'm like, it happens. I'm like, and if it doesn't happen, then I think there's a problem. You should evolve. You should have these changes. Your mind should be like, I don't want to do that anymore. That's called stages of life, And I feel like if I was still doing that, then there would be a problem. Then I need to go get some help. Yeah.
Totally. Were you shocked that, well, I don't even have kids and I go out and I have like 3 drinks and I'm like, I'm going home now. I'm like ready to pass out drunk. I'm not going to another club. I'm like, I had dinner and drinks. Like, this is the night. Like, there's nothing more to do here.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Get older. It's time. There's nothing we